recording now. What up, guys? This is Casey is Raw. And this is Rose with his video game history. So, what first system you grew up? What was your first system?
Well, I started playing video games when I was 2 years old. The first system I had was the NES, and the very first game I played was Super Mario Bros. And I had the NES for a while. I actually had the top loader with the dog bone controller. And after that, I played quite a handful of games on it. Of course, Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. I had some games at, Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle and Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout. I had baseball. I had a couple other games that I can't really remember off the top of my head. I remember Double Dragon and WrestleMania, the one with Hulk Hogan and Bam Bam Bigelow in it on the NES. I had that, and I don't remember a whole lot on the NES, but I did have it for a while, and then I moved on from there.
Did you know that Double Dragon was an arcade game?
Not back then, no, but yeah, I do now.
Oh, okay. Because
I also know it was a movie before you ask.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a movie, but I never watched it. But it looks horrible.
I forgot who did a review of it that I watched. I watched a YouTube review of that movie a long time ago, but I don't remember.
We need to get Frank. We need to get Frank to review it.
I think he'd sooner rather gut you like a fish before he reviews that.
See, like you, I mean, I thought Double Dragon was just an NES game. I did not know it was actually not only came from the arcades, it was a multi-plat game.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know the Super Nintendo version existed until you mentioned it in one of your videos.
Yeah, I need to talk about that. I need to play that, see how it looks.
I have Double Dragon Neon on the PS3.
I got it. I think I got it on the PS4 or I rented it. I'm not exactly sure. I think I rented it. But is there a game that you regret, like either trading in or selling,
for the NES
or for any system?
I mean, there's quite a few, definitely. Mainly Nintendo games because they don't go down in price, and most video games in the secondhand market these days. Usually, if it's high in price, it's a Nintendo game.
You know what I just found today when I was going out and about and saw a vintage stock was a Earthbound. The first time I've seen one in a while, and they priced it at $350.
Jesus.
So that game pretty much double its worth. And
could you imagine if Mother 3 ever came out in English? Forget it.
True. Oh no! I mean, I got the fan translation.
Yeah, but I mean, if there was ever an official version, it would.
Well, if they're gonna do that, I mean, I'm thinking. Here's what I'm betting is that if, let's say people were saying, oh, Game Boy's gonna have the collection on the Switch Online.
I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Well, it shouldn't just be just the original Game Boy. It should be all. It's like the whole Game Boy genre, like the original, the color, and the advance should have it be all in one section.
Yeah, I can see them doing that. Just call it Game Boy Collection.
Yeah, and then because they can bring Mother 3 to us, and I guarantee you that's when we have all three on line service.
So yeah, to answer your question though, Casey, few games I regret ever getting rid of was Super Mario 3, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, and Mega Man X Command Mission, because that was my all-time favorite Mega Man game, which I do own that one again, thankfully, after it cost me $55. The last time I went down to South Carolina, I bought it from a game store called Player's Choice. It was 50. They wanted $55 for it. I'm like, damn, I couldn't find a copy of that game anywhere else, and
Hmm.
I saw that they had a copy of it there. I'm like, I can't pass this up.
Uh, what? I'm just curious. Do you know what's your most expensive or rare game you got in your collection?
Right now,
Yeah.
I mean, the most expensive one I have repurchased was Mega Man X Command Mission, like I just mentioned. But actually, no, there was another game that cost me $70 that I bought the same day from the same store. But I don't remember now what game that was. I'd have to go back through the YouTube video I made of those pickups and see which game that was. But yeah, that one was rather expensive. I actually don't remember what game it was. Any other game that's currently probably worth my most amount of money? I honestly could not answer you that question, without having to look them up. But I would say my most expensive console right now is probably my Dreamcast.
Yeah. It depends on the Dreamcast. I mean, like I picked up one for $15 in Pennsylvania, but that's got to be almost 8 years ago.
Well, I mean, I told you the story when we were doing the history of Sonic for Drew's Patreon. I told you the
Yeah.
story about how I got it for $25 when it was worth 300. So,
So, what was your second system that you
so
got?
excuse me. Well, I don't know if you heard that. I hope you didn't.
No.
So after the NES, of course, I moved over to the SNES. My first game on that was, of course, Super Mario World, which is my all-time favorite video game to this date. Um, I play that. I played that a lot, and then of course I played Donkey Kong because I actually went through two SNES consoles because the first one I got eventually just stopped working, and then I remember for Christmas, I want to say it was Christmas of 1994. I remember I got the Super NES with the Donkey Kong cartridge bundle.
Yeah.
It was the one that it came in that green jungle looking box, the Donkey Kong jungle looking box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that for Christmas one year. I got Donkey Kong Country. Then I got the second one and the third one, which I really enjoyed those games. I think Donkey Kong Country 2 is the best of the three, in my opinion.
I really only played the first one. I enjoyed it though.
You got to play the other two, especially the second one.
I'm looking that up right now.
Then I played, Yoshi's Island, which everyone should know it as Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, but we all just call it Yoshi's Island. Then
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I played a game on there called Tetris Attack, Casey, which we all know the Japanese name, or I should say we both know the Japanese name is Panel de Pon, which is also available on the Switch Online service. That is one of my favorite SNES games of all time as well. I had Top Gear 2, which was a fun game. My brother had Top Gear for his SNES, so I played that a lot. He had Killer Instinct on his, which was I guess you could call it a bit of a Mortal Kombat ripoff because it was
Yeah,
it was
it's like
violent and it had fatalities, only they were called humiliations or something. But it was somewhat like Mortal Kombat. It was a black cartridge. It looked pretty cool, other than the standard gray.
yeah.
Played.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the grades and there's a couple red ones and
Yeah, the Doom one was red, right? And
yeah,
so was the Spider-Man
car-
Maximum Carnage one.
yeah, and
Uh,
then yeah, like you said, there was the black one was Killer Instinct.
that game is fucking awesome. Um, So I played that a lot. I played Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES, which was the better version of the game. In my opinion, my aunt had Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 on with her Sega
Oh
Genesis,
shoot!
which she had. Um, she had a Sega
You hear
Genesis at
that?
her house. No, I didn't hear anything.
Something's happening.
Outside your house?
No. I got Dave's Rose music start for some reason.
That's weird. You're sideways, by the way, Casey.
Yeah, because I was trying to get rid of that music. It just started. It started playing Dave's music for a second. I was like,
Did you have one of his videos like up and it just started?
no. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had it cleared out. Like, but I had to exit all apps. I just looked up the Donkey Kong Super Nintendo console with the box on eBay. One goes for $390. There's one for $425. One for some reason is for $3,000.
Yeah. Better have
The
a golden SNES in that box.
And then there's a one of the cheapest one I found is $248 plus $75 shipping. What the?
So,
That's ridiculous.
but Casey, I tell you, one of my favorite games I've played on the SNES, which is available on the SNES Mini, is Super Mario RPG. Legend of the Seven Stars. That game, I absolutely adore that game. I actually just finished a Let's Play of it on my for my YouTube channel. I got 2 videos left of that game to upload, but I did finish recording it. I had a blast playing it again. Actually, Casey, I got that game. The reason I got that game was because I remember one night me and my dad was going to Sears back when they sold everything like clothes, tools, video games, other
Yeah.
electronics. Before they became just a clothing store. So we were going to Sears. My dad had to pick something up. I forgot what he was going there for. And on the way there, we got into like a little fender bender on the road.
Oh, that's right.
It was raining. It was raining outside, and we got into a little fender bender. It was the first car accident I ever was in, and I was only like 6 years old at the time. So my dad, to like calm me down. I mean, I wasn't a nervous wreck. Like I wasn't having a fucking crisis meltdown over it, but just to keep myself calm. My dad, when we went to the store, he let me pick out a video game. So I'm like, all right. So I was looking through the games, and a lot of them at the time that were at the store I had. Then I saw Super Mario RPG, and I didn't know what it was because I never played RPGs at the time, and this is the very first RPG I ever played, and I've fallen in love with the genre ever since. I played them a lot. There's quite a few of them on my YouTube channel I've played already. A lot more that I'm gonna play, but yeah. So my dad bought me that game because I saw Mario on the cover. I'm like, well, it's a Mario game. It's got to be good. And then I'm playing it. I'm like not enjoying it, because it's like very slow paced and a lot of reading. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't want to tell my dad I didn't like this game, so I like kept on playing, and eventually, like I kind of forced myself to like it, and now it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, I can understand why you got slided a little bit on that. I'm looking at that right now.
Another game I really enjoyed a lot was a game that me and my mom played together was Qbert 3.
Qbert 3?
Yeah, we played Qbert 3 a lot. I actually hacked that one onto my SNES Mini so I could still play it.
Super Mario RPG is damn near $90 loose
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
it's expensive. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you can't get that one cheap.
No, I think I picked mine up between like $50 or $70, give or take, around there. It's been honestly because of the pandemic. The prices went from like somewhere between $50 and now shot up to 89.25 now.
Well, you also know what's not helping either is that WADA grading company. They're skyrocketing prices too.
Oh yeah, tons of stuff that like right now, like I'm pretty sure. Let's see how much my Super Mario Bros. Goes for in its box. Bros. I'm just curious. Or what? Think you went and moved on to the second one, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
No, you moved on to the Sega Genesis, right?
I didn't mention the Genesis yet, but I was about to when you were going to ask me about my third console.
Yeah. So I figured that was your next one. I thought it was going to be your second one. Like it was mine right after the NES was the Sega Genesis.
No, I was a Nintendo kid, mostly all the way through. Technically, if you count it as a console, my second one was the Game Boy, the original gray brick with the green background. I don't know if you consider that a console. I mean, it was a handheld system. I didn't really play too many games on it though. I had Super Mario Deluxe. I had the Pokemon games. I had Donkey Kong Land, which was like a Game Boy version of Donkey Kong Country, but not as good. That's pretty much all I had on it. Tetris for the Game Boy. Actually, the way I got my Game Boy, my dad worked for Enterprise Rental Car. I don't know if you ever heard of that car service company. And somebody dropped off the rental car, and I guess they had their kid with them. And the kid, I guess, left his Game Boy in the back seat, and my dad found it and took it home for me instead of putting it in the lost and found at the company for whoever left it there to claim it.
I mean, the kid shouldn't have left it, and the parent should looked before dropping it off.
I mean, I actually last year I did. I left a mask in a rental car, and I forgot about it, and I lost it. So.
Oh, that's different. It's mask.
Yeah, but hey, masks were pretty important last year.
Oh gosh, this is off topic, but I remember the beginning of 2020 when all this was ramping up. Tommy NC 2010, he's with his buddies at, I guess it's at Crystal's house, and some other dude was there too. And what I heard, Tommy asked to borrow her mask while they're hanging out.
No, you don't do that.
And then half the time he's either wearing it or not. And it's like, it makes no fucking sense now. Like, you're going to only wear it half the time. But that's
not only that, but he was wearing someone else's mask. How do you know that person wasn't sick?
Yeah. I mean, just because you're friends doesn't mean they're safe. I mean, you try and be respectful, but that's beside the point.
So, yeah, moving on, the third console I got. Actually, we talked about this yesterday when we did the Sega Channel video for Derailed Patreon. Sign up for $1 a month, you fucking cheap bastards. Anyways, I told you how I didn't get a Sega Genesis until Christmas of 1995. And I got the Sonic 2 bundle with it. So.
Well, that's the better Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
The Trilogy. I mean, I like 3 and I like 1, but 2 was definitely the best.
And so, yeah, I got Sonic 2 first, and then I got Sonic 1, and then I got Sonic 3, and then I got Sonic and Knuckles, because as you know, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were split into 2 games released in the same year. That's why we got the lock-on cartridge, which we also talked about in part 1 of the history of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is now, it's uploaded on Drew's, Gatekeeper Drew's YouTube channel, so you can find that there if you don't sign up for the Patreon. But
He's probably paying you to do all that, isn't he? He's like, make sure any shows you're on, you must plug my Patreon.
I will neither confirm nor deny that. So yeah, so anyway, so I got those games. I had a few other Sega games. I had the Lion King on Sega, which we all know that game was like stupid hard, and they made it hard on purpose because of rental stores. They didn't want kids who rented the game to get very far in the game. They wanted people to buy it instead.
Well, that's true, but they were getting their money anyways. I mean, they were selling those games full price at these stores.
I don't remember. Yeah, Sega games. I really didn't have many. I had like 4 or 5. You know what? Let me go back to the NES real quick because I didn't mention Clax. I played the fuck out of Clax.
I remember you were a huge fan of that. I mean,
I actually have the Genesis version now. I don't have it on hand, to throw it up on screen, but I do have it. I love that game. I played it a lot. But anyways, going back to the Genesis, they only had like 4 or 5 games.
I got a quick question. Which one's better to you, Clax or Tetris?
Oh, that's hard. That's a hard choice, dude. I love them both.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I would have to say Tetris now because that, Tetris games are still being made.
True. I mean, they modified Tetris Effect with the Tetris Effect connected.
Yeah, that's also coming to the Switch too, which means I'll get to play it.
I think it's out right now.
Yeah, it is. It's not on the. I don't think it's on the Switch yet, though. But it's coming. I think it is.
I think I saw it on the Switch.
But so yeah, so I only had like 4 or 5 Sega games, and then of course, as we talked about yesterday, for the Patreon, the Sega Channel is where I played most of my Sega games, like Comic Zone, Streets of Rage, Street Fighter 2, Beavis and Butthead. I played some of the baseball games on there, some of the football games on there. Outrun, Virtua Racing, Virtua Fighter 2. It's where I played a lot of those games.
Oh yeah,
from Sega. It was on the Sega Channel, and then I skipped to the Sega Saturn because I never even knew it existed when I was a kid because I was too busy having fun with my Sega Channel. And then I got the Dreamcast. Well, actually, no, I'm skipping too far ahead. My 4th console was the Nintendo 64, which came out on my birthday in 1996, September 29th.
Oh,
so I got that and Super Mario 64 on my birthday. So that was cool. That was probably one of the best birthdays ever. And I played that a lot. Eventually, not too long after that, Mario Kart 64 came out, and I played a lot of that. I had like a lot of memories created with the wrestling games.
Oh yeah,
WCW World Tour, WCW NWO Revenge.
That's the better one.
I had those, but I didn't have the WWF ones. I didn't have WrestleMania 2000, and I didn't have No Mercy. But I did play them.
I believe right now they used to go for cheap. Now for No Mercy, I see at vintage stock. I think they're selling it for like $45.
Maybe No Mercy, but I know the WCW ones are still pretty cheap. Like I got I got WCW versus NWO World Tour. That one was like $7, and the other one I bought was like $12.
WCW NWO Revenge to me is the best WCW game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I think they were shit before that game, and they're definitely shit afterwards.
Yeah, because Aki Corp knew what the fuck they were doing, and then they jumped ship to WWE.
Yeah, and I mean, they went to was it God Mayhem? Oh, eventually they stopped that Mayhem, and that shit was horrible. That
Backstage Assault too,
yeah, oh yeah, it was just garbage.
and WCW Thunder. That game was also pretty ass.
It was most of the WWF N64 games were great.
So yeah, so I played a lot of those. I had this fighting game called Mace: The Dark Age. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No,
I should look it up. Actually, give me a price on that. Now that I think about it, I'm curious as to how much that
what is
goes
it?
for. It's called Mace: The Dark
Mace
Age.
the Dark.
It's a 3D fighting game. It was pretty cool. I actually played a lot of it.
How you spell Mace? I put Mace. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Like
And
the
I put
weapon, mace.
yeah, I put Mace Dark Age. Okay, there it is. Loose is $20 with
That's not.
the complete price goes for $41. I remember that artwork.
Yeah, I
Well,
actually had that game.
actually, starting from back '08, it was like $2. And to like let's say the '04 jumped to almost $5. 2018 is heading towards 10. 2020 is pretty much in the same range. It was until this year when it jumped up
Yeah,
to $20.
that's because everybody with video game collections is looking to sell for as much as they can get because they do want they don't want to go back to work.
Yeah, oh, true, good point. I mean, but a lot of these games are just going up in price. So it's just amazing.
So yeah, I played that game a lot actually. Another really great game that I really enjoy is a game called Tetrisphere. Um, I freaking love that game. Me and my mom, that was another game we played a lot. And Smash Bros, of course, was originated on the N64. I never owned it, but I played it at my cousin's house, and I was really having a good time with it. So
Mm-hmm.
my cousins let me borrow it, for a weekend, right? So they let me borrow it for a weekend. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I took it home, had it for like 3 days, and brought it back the next time I went. We went to their house, and I brought it back, and it was hanging out there for a little while. We were all kids, still like 9, 10 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before I left my cousin's house, Casey, wouldn't you know it that I stole that game for a week? I, I stole it back from my cousins after they let me borrow it for a weekend, and then I brought it back and gave it back to them. And then before I left their house, I stole it from them for a week.
I gotta call the cops on you now. I got proof right here. Nah.
Oh shit! So yeah,
I,
man, that
I, if you really think about it, right now, N64 is not going to get a lot of games on the lineup if you really think about it.
yeah, I mean, it's got some good, some really good games, but the PlayStation had the much better lineup because they moved to CD, their graphics were better and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and they were able to make bigger games, and people were able to make bigger games because of the
And
CD format, over the cartridges.
yeah, and they can play video where N64 couldn't.
Yeah, and you could use the PlayStation as a CD player.
Well, I'm just saying, there's a ton. Like, we're not gonna get for N64. GoldenEye is definitely not coming, right?
Probably not because it's a rare title.
No, it's rare is not the problem because if you watch that direct, Banjo Kazooie is coming to to the collection.
Yeah, so
It's
then we
not.
could get GoldenEye then.
Now, the reason we're not going to get GoldenEye is the MGM owns James Bond.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
And here's what's going to suck.
I played that game a lot too. I actually owned it at one point. That's another game I regret getting rid of. But I did own it at one point, but I did play it a lot. Another game I played a lot at my cousin's house because they owned it when we were kids, and I didn't own it until like 10 years later. I owned it like maybe 12 years ago for a little while, and then I sold it, which was really stupid of me.
I was checking it right now. GoldenEye. At one point, GoldenEye loose was going for $40, but it dropped all the way down to damn near $20.
Really? I'm surprised
Yeah.
that one's not up there in price.
Yeah, well, it was in 2020. It hit almost $40. But if you had the box and the manual, it would be $83.
Right. Besides GoldenEye, I played a lot of Madden 64, which I actually have complete in box, which is really nice. Too bad it only cost me $8, so that ain't worth shit.
Well, I'm definitely none of the sports games are coming either, and also
that's not true. There's a couple sports games that are worth a lot of money.
no, I'm talking about onto the online service
Oh, right.
and WWF and WCW games. That ain't coming either.
No.
I mean, there's just too many. I mean, I said this in my one videos. Like the Sega Genesis collection could be wide open. Lot
Dude,
more.
Nintendo should digitally bring back the Sega channel in the Nintendo Switch Online service. That would be badass.
I'm surprised they didn't also announce Master System.
You know what, though? Instead of calling it Sega Genesis Online, they could have called it Sega Channel. Nintendo's missing an opportunity there.
So what did you have after N64?
So after the N64, I got the PlayStation 1 in 1998 for completing the 4th grade.
Mm.
So I got that and Crash Bandicoot, the first one. That was my first game on the PlayStation. Then my dad bought Gran Turismo, which is a racing game, which I actually have a copy of. Actually, right here. This, not this one. This one. Here we go. Yeah, this one here, Gran Turismo. Great game. Actually, just played this again not too long ago. I bought this one when I was in South Carolina. This one cost me like $5.
Nice.
So it's another game that's pretty cheap right now. And then of course this is I never owned this game, this Yu-Gi-Oh game when I had the PlayStation 1 because Yu-Gi-Oh didn't come out here as a TV show and a card game until 2000. The card game itself didn't come out until 2002, but they started making video games in 1996. And I didn't know that, and I just found that game earlier this year, so I picked it up. That actually cost me $16. That one.
I get a question. What's that very bright light behind you?
My lamp.
I'm just noticed that it's like distracting a little bit, but it's almost looks like it's sunny outside or something.
Yeah, that's my lamp. All right, hold on. I'll switch the light bulbs. There we go.
I felt like I was getting I'm getting interrogated.
Yeah, that light bulb is a 100-watt bulb versus the one I just turned on. That's only a 75-watt bulb. So Gran Turismo. My dad bought for himself also Duke Nukem 3D.
Yes.
And obviously I wasn't supposed to play that game, but I did anyway. Because growing up, my dad was a truck driver like J-Man is now.
Yeah.
And he used to go over the road and stuff, and like go across the country and shit like that. And while he was away, the Rose will play. So I
Well,
played me a lot of Duke Nukem, even though I wasn't supposed to.
I mean, you turn out being a good guy, so it's not. It's too many people like Congress wants to, or other people wants to blame video games for violence. I mean, that's just a
That
comment.
wasn't the reason why he didn't want me playing. It was because of the nudity and all the sexual references in it and everything. That's why I wasn't
well,
supposed to play it. Of
well, did you figure out about the nudity?
course I did.
Okay, then I mean, like
Dude,
when you get to,
I started watching porn when I was 10 years old. Of course I
oh,
figured
that
out the
doesn't
nudity.
shock. No, I'm talking about the nudity on Duke Nukem, though.
Yeah, that's what I said. Of course I figured it out. I started watching porn when I was 10. Of course I would figure it out.
I was like, oh my god, because I think she was wearing like those pasties or whatever. They would wear that, so you didn't actually see nipples, but it was just
Well, no,
pasty.
they were pixels. They were all pixels anyways, so
Yeah,
but that's besides the point. But yeah, so after those games, I had Crash Bandicoot, 2 and 3, and my brother again, he had the Jet Moto games, so I got to play those. I had quite a few demo discs, so I played the demos like Super Pitfall and Ridge Racer and Parappa the Rappa, which honestly I fucking hated that game. I'm glad I only played the demo for it. There was quite a few other games I played the demos for. Tekken 2, I loved that game. The Tekken series, I'm a big fan of that. Those are fighting games, of course. One of my favorite games on the PlayStation 1 that I played a lot was Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
oh yeah,
That's a game. Let me tell you this story of this one, Casey, because I was gonna pick it up the last time I went to this place called Platinum Games.
mm-hmm.
It's about a 25-minute drive from where I live, and they were gonna sell it to me once. They were gonna sell it to me for $25, right? Which
Yeah.
is fair because that's pretty much like the going price I saw for it on eBay. So they were gonna sell it to me, and then the guy was looking for the disc. He said he couldn't find the disc, so he couldn't sell it to me. So then, uh, the last time I went there, I asked him, if he had the game, if he found it. He found it, he was going to sell it to me, and then, he told me $50. I'm like, what? I'm like, you were going to sell it to me last time for $25, but you couldn't find the CD. I said, now you found the game to actually sell it to me. Now you want to sell it for double? I said, no. I said, forget it.
So it just depends on the reseller. I mean, there's some people.
It was the
I
same store, though. Why would you offer it to me for $25 one day, and then the next time I come in, I know it was like a month or two later, but still,
oh
why
wow,
would you? Why would you
then
offer it to me for twice the amount? It's the same game. I'm the same person. You were going to offer it to for $25, but you couldn't find the game, so you couldn't make the sale. Okay, fine. So I went there. The last time I went there, I bought more games. I asked him if he found it. He found it. I asked him, okay, I want to buy it. And he goes $50. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, forget it.
yeah, that's
Like
pretty
you told
fucked
me
up.
20. I'm like, you told me 25 last time. I'm like, no, forget it.
I don't blame you. I mean, a lot of times, like, there's room to haggle, but what that he did, I mean, unless like you said it was like a month or two ago, that shouldn't doubled in that time frame. If it was like, a year or two later, then okay,
Yeah, it was like in yeah, it was I think it was in June, I think, when I was there last. So it was 4 months ago, but it was only like a month or two in between from the first and second time that I asked about that game. So there's no reason for him to, that store to double the price on that. But
there's some, like, I remember one time I found the Guy game, I believe, for cheap.
you need to
Then
get rid of that game, man.
no, it's worth money.
But you need to
But
get rid of it. You can't have
Why?
that game in your collection.
Why?
Because it's illegal, that's why.
Mm-mm. Well, it's not illegal for me to have.
Yes, it is. It's
What are you
illegal for
talking
anyone
about?
to have. You have a child. There's child porn in that game, technically.
Well, I mean,
She was 16 or 17, whatever. She was still underage.
yeah. Well, I mean, one, you don't know which one it is unless you really look into it. Plus, it's been forever since I played it. I'm just now just having it as a something to be in the collection that has some value.
Oh, man. Casey.
I don't even remember why I said that. But um,
That's one game I wouldn't have in my collection, trust me. I wouldn't take the risk.
I remember why I said that. I went to Vintage Stock and picked it up, and it has one certain price, and then I knew it was way under retail, and they're like, "Oh, it's actually this price." I'm like, what? I mean, you can't sell. No, you can't honor this price. Like, no. I'm like, I was pissed. It was like $5 more, but I was mad, and I called, wrote a letter, and I text to the or email to one of the GMs because I was mad. I'm like, that's bullshit. But they're like, if you want to come down here and you can get your $5 back. Like, I'm like, really? Am I gonna waste my time to go get $5?
It would cost you $5 worth of gas.
No, not really. I mean, it's the principle of the thing. But it's just vintage stock is horrible. The new they have the new switches out there, the OLED one,
Right, yep.
and I think they have them priced for $500, and you have to buy the bundle with like Super Mario Odyssey or 3D all something. It was either
Well,
3D World.
they do.
I'm
Well,
like,
they're doing that. They're doing that to try to offset the scalpers.
yeah, so they can scalp the public.
Well, I mean, they're not. I wouldn't say they're scalping the public. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
yeah,
are.
they want to make more money on it, but they're trying to stop people from going into their store, just buying it, just to sell it on eBay for twice
Oh,
as much money.
okay. But they're still a retail store. They shouldn't be doing that. I mean,
Well, did you hear what
I
Best Buy? You know, not to derail this freaking video any further, but did you hear what Best Buy's doing now?
what?
They're selling you in order now to buy a PlayStation 5 from their store, or I think even online. You have to purchase their $200 all premium tech support service for $200. You get
On top of that,
you get up to 2 years of like tech support. You get other perks, of course, but now they're not letting you buy the PS5 without subscribing to that yearly
fuck,
service.
fuck that. I'll
And
wait. I mean, it's right now. I mean, there's like I said before, there's no exclusive games that is worth getting a PS5. When I have a PS4 Pro, I'm only just a step behind the PS5.
so getting back to the PS1, which was again my fourth system. I didn't. That's another system I didn't actually have a lot of games for, but the games I had, I had a lot of fun with. I did play the Spyro games, but I never owned them at the time. But I do have the Spyro, Reignited trilogy now. Um, but yeah, so my next console after that would be the PlayStation 2, because of course it would. And I had a lot of fun with the PS2. I would take like the next half an hour to tell you the memories and the history I had with SOCOM 2 with my brother, my cousins, and a couple of our friends. But I would save that story for another day. But yeah, I
I'm the
played a lot of SOCOM 2. I played, of course, the Mortal Kombat 3D games, which I also own now, with Deception, Deadly Alliance Deception, and Armageddon. I also have Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, the spin-off game. I played a lot of PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy, which was a third-person shooter. That game is fucking fantastic. That's a game, Casey, that I bought and sold at least about 3 or 4 times. And now that's another game I want to get back in my collection.
I'm gonna give you a 10-minute warning because my editor only does an hour.
Okay.
So I'd say another 10 minutes. So
All right. So then
you
we could do a part 1 and a part 2 then, if we have
yeah.
to. So all right. So yeah, PS2. I played a lot of SOCOM 2, the Mortal Kombat games, of course, sports games. What else? I played. PS2 is actually one of the consoles I played a lot on. I played Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. I continued playing Gran Turismo, of course. I actually have Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, and 4
Wow.
in my collection right now. I just need 5 and 6. And of course, 7 coming out next year in March. I can't wait for that one. Then I played, there was a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh games on the PS2 as well that I played quite a bit of. And then I got the Dreamcast originally in 2001 for Christmas with Sonic Adventure 1. Now, Christmas of 2000, it's already obsolete. There's no more games being made for it and whatnot. So the only Dreamcast games I actually had was I think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Sonic Adventure, the demo disc that the console came with, and the snowboarding game Rippin' Riders that you talked about recently.
Oh, really? How is that game?
It's all right. I didn't play it much, but yeah, I sold that original Dreamcast. Thankfully, I got another one now. Right now in my Dreamcast collection, I have Sega GT Racing and the original Soul Calibur game, Soul Calibur 1, in my
Hey,
collection.
I still have it right here.
Yeah, there it is.
I was
You
looking
paid
over.
$3 for it. It ain't worth shit.
No, $4.
$4, okay.
So I was like, I saw a Dreamcast game poking, and I was like, and then I looked at that. Oh, it's that one.
Yeah, so that was it with the Dreamcast. Very short-lived because, like I said, Christmas of 2001, it was already obsolete. And actually, that year, Casey, was probably the worst Christmas of my life.
Oh shit!
Despite the fact that I got the Dreamcast for Christmas, I
Yeah.
had the flu for Christmas that year. So I was literally stuck in bed trying to enjoy my Christmas present with a fucking 103 fever.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was miserable. But after that, I bought the original Xbox, the big, the original first Xbox console.
Oh, before you go into that, my brother used to said it kind of funny because how big the original Xbox was. He called it the X VCR box or just the VCR box.
Oh, I called it the X Brick. That's what I called it.
That was like I can understand it. I mean, shoot, the Philips CDI looks like the one I have looks like a VCR.
So I didn't really play much on the Xbox. I only had it for like a few months because I didn't really care for it. I mean, I bought it because there were a few games, but a lot of the games that were coming out, that I wanted to play were multiplats. So I
Mm-hmm.
just got them on the PS2 instead. So I figured, well, what do I need this thing for? And I lost a lot of money on it because when I bought it, it was like $200 and something.
Oh damn!
And the only games I ever bought for it were Project Gotham Racing, um,
That
And there
shit
was
shocked.
there was like one other game. I only had like 2 or 3 games for it, and that was it.
Oh, what about Halo?
No, I'm not a Halo guy.
Uh,
But
that's
yeah, I sold the Xbox to a modder, a console modder, and he only
yeah.
bought it for me for $80. So I
Oh,
lost like three
uh,
quarters of the money that I
yeah.
spent on it.
Well, a good chunk of it. You said $200. That I would say more like two.
No, it
Well,
was more than 200. It was, I forgot how much it was, but
oh,
I only got $80 back when I sold it, and I had it for less than a year, so it was still practically brand new. I only played it, a few times, maybe 6, 7 times, and I had it for maybe 6 months, if that. And then, of
I
course,
was
my brother finally came to move in, and he had the original Xbox, so I just played his.
well. I was an original Xbox person. I mean, I bought the Xbox from my best friend, and I bought the PS2 from my brother. But if I had to choose between them, I went with the Xbox because I was playing it more often. So I was like, so a lot of times I would just get the Xbox games.
So, Casey, how we doing on time?
I would say we got. Uh, I'd say another 5 minutes.
All right, so I'll talk about the GameCube real quick, and then we'll call it a video. Um, so the GameCube was next after the Xbox. My brother actually owned the GameCube, and he really didn't care for the GameCube that much, kind of like I didn't care much for the Xbox. So he actually gave his GameCube to me, and the games we remember, I remember playing on it with him were WrestleMania 18 and WrestleMania 19. I played. They had a Yu-Gi-Oh game on there called Yu-Gi-Oh the Forbellish Kingdom. So I played that game a lot. Actually, that's another game I want to get in my collection. Of course, Mega Man X Command Mission. I had the GameCube version, which is the one I told you earlier that I had to rebuy for $55. I had the Sonic. I had the GameCube ports of the Sonic games, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I had Sonic Heroes. I had Shadow the Hedgehog. I had Sonic Mega Collection. I had all those on the GameCube. And those are all games I got to get back again. And of course, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door was an
Yeah,
awesome game.
I heard that was a good game. I mean,
It was very good.
I only played a couple of the Paper Mario games.
Yeah, I never played the first one, but I played Thousand Year Door. And Thousand Year Door was a fantastic game. It's one of my favorite games out there. Easily my favorite GameCube game, definitely. And then me and my brother played the Madden games on the GameCube, Madden 03 and 04, which we liked a lot too.
Yeah, we can't even get Madden for the Switch.
Yeah,
So I might have, if they did that and if it actually looked decent, I'd probably do
EA
it.
doesn't want to support the Switch. That's why.
But hold on, don't they send out FIFA?
No, they don't support the Switch at all.
I'm pretty sure FIFA's on Switch, right?
If it is, that's the only one. Because the Need for
Yeah.
Speed games aren't on the Switch. Madden's not on the Switch. The Star Wars games aren't on the Switch.
Yeah, FIFA's on the Switch.
So then that's the only one that they're supporting it with, because they're not supporting it with other games. Like the new Battlefield game, that's not coming to the Switch either. So,
Well, yeah, remember a bunch of that was just because it can't handle the Switch can't handle the newer games now, you know?
right.
I mean, it sucks that you kind of hoped it had at least the power of the PS4. I mean, I heard it's slightly under the Xbox One power.
No, I don't buy that. It's below the PS4, definitely.
Well, definitely. I was just saying it's slightly under the Xbox One capabilities. I'm talking about the original Xbox, though.
Oh.
Xbox One.
Well,
God,
Casey, I think we ought to wrap it up here before your editor cuts out on you.
Yeah. So yeah,
I guess we'll have to have a part 2 when I could talk about the PS3, the Xbox 360, the PS4, Xbox One, the Wii U, and of course the Switch and the PS5.
all right. So thanks for coming by, Rose.
Yep, we'll have to do part 2. Maybe I don't know. Hell, I'll do part 2 tomorrow if you want. I really don't mind.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm down with that. I really don't think I have anything to do. It depends how I feel, but that's why I wanted to do it right now because I actually had a little energy, but I'm already winding down already. I still need.
Yeah, I saw you fucking yawning like 7 or 8 times while I'm talking. I
Yeah,
was gonna
well,
bust your balls like, Casey, am I boring you?
I was going to say you were boring me, but let me wrap this up. Thanks for coming over. So, let me get my outro. For the Rose, I am Casey is Raw, and we'll see your ass down the road.
Cheap imitation of myself.
I made it. It's my outro.
Sure it is.